for our day and welcome you. Oh, yes, you look gorgeous, Mom. You are ready for your
I
your
am ready for
close-up.
nothing.
Well, happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, July 14th. It's Bastille Day in France, and here in the United States, it's just another Sunday. So welcome. I'm glad you're here to see you. Mare and I are both on Pacific Coast time, so a little bit earlier here. Princilla has a group outing. I think it's her dad's 94th birthday that they're celebrating
Oh,
today. So
wow.
how fun is
Wow.
that? Yeah,
Cute.
on East Coast time, their
Very
day is
cool.
well underway. So um I'm glad you guys are here. How is everybody? Let's start with the typical check-ins, yeah? Like,
Yeah.
how many days did you do your morning pages? Are you starting to like them? This is on page 104. And then she says, at all.
Hmm.
Like, do you like them
You
at
write
all?
And
that.
How was the experience?
I do like
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you get us kicked off? And then artist date, synchronicity, and anything else significant. So it's just kind of like the same stuff.
yeah. The synchronicity thing, I don't see it as it's happening, but it's
Mhm.
after I'm talking to other people or like Phil and I are sharing our day, then I went, oh, yeah, it's all like ding, 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 ding.
Isn't that
The
cool?
right really like,
Okay.
yeah. What she said, because this is what I do is when you're asking the questions at night in your night journal or
Hmm.
your journal at night, and in the morning you listen and
Mm.
then you write and the answers will come. And so because my hands, the second I mean, I probably get a few minutes of writing before my hand goes numb. So I'll write
Oh,
a couple of paragraphs, give it a rest, go do something, come back, and just because I have a really messed up neck.
okay.
Um, but I write a lot of throughout the day
Oh,
kind of
that's
stuff
cool.
instead of three straight morning pages because it's just I want to write. I'm either gonna sit here and do a record or I'm gonna just if I longhand just spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I like that because I take my journal with me and as something happens, I just start reading. It comes to me and I'm writing out. So
So you're taking
I
a
like
journal.
it.
Is it your same journal that you take with you to places, or
Yes,
you have?
the one I bought, it has a little handle. So yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
take
so
it
cute. That's so
in my
cute.
bag. Yeah,
Because I have noticed
yeah.
that that's one of the things that I've incorporated too is in my purse I have a small, it's probably this size, but
Hmm.
I often find like, oh, a thought will come to me, and now I'm just in that habit of like, I want to write that down and either come back to it, and depending on where I am, because
Yeah.
sometimes like here I'm traveling in Ashland, like if I were to sit at a cafe or something like that, I could just start writing. The other thing that I love about it and is I wonder if anybody else experiences this. When I have my journal and my pen and I'm at a public place like a cafe or a park, I don't feel alone. Is that like
Hmm.
a thing, or
Yeah.
I feel like
A security blanket for me.
kind of like a security blanket. I'm like, wait, is that okay? I mean, is it
Well,
okay?
yeah, because it's your creative is coming out.
Yeah.
So I think so.
Yeah. So okay, so you write like more than partially because of hand cramping instead of just like half hour of 3 pages
Yeah.
once.
And actually I stole a pencil from work, but I've been doing, sorry, Kimber, but I had my arthritis, my arthritis pen. And so
Yeah.
I was the other day, some big significant stuff was coming up and I was writing and I got about a whole page in. The hand cramped and I grabbed the pencil, which was a different,
Grip.
so then I kept writing. So I thought, there's all this. And it wasn't because my mind was spastic, it was my hand was freaking out, but I wanted to get it out.
Oh, good
So
for
I've got a
you.
little pen, a little pencil, but it worked.
She talks about this week with that first question about the morning pages. She talks about that page and a half, like moment of like all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I'm getting a little bit deeper into
Yes.
this.
Mhm.
And I think that that is like now she's slowly uncovering like this is the intention, or this is the reason why 3 pages, why is it arbitrary? But it's just to get you far enough into the process and then to start seeing something rise up. And so you did that. and
Yeah, it just
worked
happened. I didn't even realize
and you
her.
worked through it, and that's interesting, like just changing of the pen. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are other people having hand cramping still? Because it's real. Nope, mom's a pro now.
It's real because I just recently have gotten it. I didn't
Oh,
until just these last days. So
okay.
it
Okay.
might be creative blocks going, hey, I don't want to do this.
Mm.
Right? It might be a little defense mechanism. I have those because it's gnarly stuff for me this week.
It's so, oh, okay. And it's so like so buried in there that you don't
Uh-huh.
know what you don't know, right? Until all of a sudden your hand, yeah, you're like, nah, it's enough. I mean, and it is noteworthy that, I often say it like it's, it's, it seems a very playful and very fun, journey. But when we are really playing with our inner child, if we are doing it with great intention to free ourselves from the stuff that somehow got mixed in there,
Yeah,
stuff is going to come up. Hard, memories can come up, or just something where you're like, I've always told myself that this was okay, and
yeah.
maybe it's not okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's why I've been wanting to write so much. It's like this word vomit, especially because we're here. It's been,
mm,
I'm at,
mhm,
where my family, like
of origin.
42 years ago, mom died. We're all going to her place today to put flowers down. So,
Oh,
like, there's
okay.
all this stuff that's coming up. And I didn't realize it'd be so emotional. We drove into California and I started seeing familiar stuff. And I'm like, why am I so emotional? And that
Mm,
my sister was said, because you've lived here your whole life and you're not living here now. And our lives are still going on and you're not here. And yeah, so super emotional. But I think that's why I would love to be able to say I have an anger thing with this, but this, this is a bone that keeps messing with my nerve. But so
mm.
I going to be
Right
left-handed.
side?
That would be great. Yeah, my right side.
On your right side. For me, it's my left
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
They say
If I
that
could
our
write
right,
left-handed,
you write left-handed?
no, I wish. I wish.
Oh, oh, I see. So it's all on that right side. And they say that the right side of our body is our masculine energy, our king energy side,
Mm,
and the left side is clearly the feminine, the receptive. So it's like the giving is the
yeah.
right side and the receiving is the
Which
left
one is it
side.
giving?
The giving
Oh.
is the right side, the masculine giving.
So my right hand is numb, which means I don't want to give. That's
Well,
not
I mean,
good.
who know? It's just one thing to think about, right? Like why
Yeah.
what or is it the opposite? Is it like you give too much away and your body's wanting to pull energy back into it?
Oh my God, you're tripping me out right
Good morning.
now.
This is what
Boom.
it's like when I zoom with my feet, like literally in the most luscious grass. I love this place. I'm staying another day. I've decided I am extending
Good
my
for you.
and by myself today. Yeah, my girlfriend, she'll be scampering out here at some point to give me a hug and hit the road, but I'm like, nope, I need to stay. So, mm. Okay, so it's
Good
very
for you. Good decision.
thank you. And I feel like the artist way in many ways is supporting me in that, where it's like today is like my extended artist date, and my gracious mother helping with a little bit of logistics with driving tomorrow, but yes. But my kiddos, they're I'm pretty much wasn't going to see them tomorrow anyway, so I'll be home tomorrow night, but not tonight. That's okay. So that I can process some of the stuff that has come up for me in the week. And so I think it's great that when you're entering back into these places and seeing these things that you have the safety also of your sister to just validate your experience. Is your relationship with
Yeah,
her pretty strong?
it is. And with my husband as well. I mean, he's been watching me go through all this stuff with my family and all the dynamics that come back because my sister's a cancer and
Oh, yeah,
we're so
very
polar
emotional.
opposite. Yeah. And so when it starts getting stressed out, he'll just reach over and kind of hold my hand or whatever, just to like simmer me
Oh,
down because yeah,
oh,
I want to choke her sometimes, but I just
yep. That's
Amazing. Imagine that.
that's fair. Okay, so
she's
that's
the big sister. Yeah. Mm.
mm. Have you been able to pull yourself away during this time at all to do an artist date while you're traveling?
No, we thought about that today because Phil went out and got me some mason jars, and I'm going to bring back motion, and it's going on Pluto, and that's going because I miss the ocean, so I cannot wait. We're going to go down there today or later this evening and catch the sun. And I
Oh,
was thinking I'd let everybody be over here, and then maybe I'd just go find a little area that was private and just sit there for a
yes.
second. But it's not going to be a long time, so it
Yeah,
might be
but
an
just
artist
having
minute.
yeah, having a minute to like, and I think that would be really powerful for you to
Hmm.
process. I mean, this is a big day also, and an honoring and yeah, the ocean. Where tell me again where in California you are?
So
What
we're in Southern California, Santa Clarita, Valencia, by Magic Mountain, that
okay,
whole
okay,
up there. Yeah.
perfect. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will hope that you can take in some deep breaths by yourself and just have a moment to just go within.
You know, I have had some in the hotel where
Okay.
everybody's gone, and I've listened to. Do you know the song that you sent by the Amos Lee that I
Yes,
told you
Dreamland.
was so? I have it. We have a rental car, and I'm driving around, and it's so loud, and I just so happy because there's people who are cutting me off, and I'm just like,
But
I
you're
used
like,
to do this, and now I'm
oh,
doing.
you're like, I got
I
my
know.
Amos Lee in my ears. I am good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
That's great. And also you're coming home from like showing Californians another way to drive. Like we can be friendly drivers.
God, God,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. And then you said you saw some synchronicity like after.
Yeah, but my brain still goes to, oh, that's a coincidence. Well, isn't that
Mm,
funny that it happened that way? And I'm like, wait, no, that's not a coincidence. Hold on. Yeah,
yeah.
just and it's just little simple things. And I don't even remember what they are now. I just as they were happening, we were talking. It was just how
And
the timing of things was just
yeah.
flowing. We didn't have there wasn't so much resistance on getting here, and we had a little bit financially right before we left, but it all worked out. My,
Okay.
my sweet Kimberly gives me my check early. So
Oh.
we got everything worked out. And then we just didn't worry. We're like, whatever happens, it happens. And we took our
Oh.
time coming here. And then we'd made one turn off the freeway. And also we're looking at this view and we wouldn't have really looked. And
Mm.
this time I drove about 5 hours and it gave Phil the opportunity to look up and see huge things he had just never seen. He's like, God, look at the size of that mountain. And it's usually,
Wow.
or on my side and he doesn't see it. So it was that. I thought, well, I'm glad that I'm up to driving this trip because now he
Yeah.
gets to enjoy some of it.
Oh,
But
that's really
yeah,
wonderful. And
just little things.
I think with the synchronicity, and Mom, you had asked me that question, what's the difference between synchronicity and serendipity? I think they're the same thing. I like the word serendipity, but synchronicity is what she uses.
I do.
It's the same, but it's the little paying attention moments of noticing, you're like, oh, that just all lined up. And the more we do that, the more synchronistic things come. And then also perhaps the more courage we have to, like, if we see an opportunity, and I'll share this about my little artist date here in Ashland, a synchronistic moment, but I needed to create it in a small way. So I'll share about that in a minute. But let's do some other check-ins. Who else? Pages, dates, synchronicities.
I'll just jump right in. How's that?
Do it. Mhm.
Surprise, surprise. Um, I read, it's been a wacko week, number one. It's been a
Got this
fun week.
crazy dog.
That crazy dog. I'm sitting on half of a chair. he is behind me between the back of the chair and my butt. So, which is about 100% of the time I sit down, he's right there, no matter where he came from or where I am, he knows that I have sat and he'll come and sit right there. But it's comfortable and it makes my back, makes me sit up straighter. So it's not a bad thing. Anyway, so yeah, we've had Jasper here this week, which has been a real learning week. I've got to give him a lot of credit for finally putting some smarts in his little
His
poor
little
life.
in his pea-sized brain.
Oh my gosh. But I've been working in the room where I am right now. And by the way, I got up at 6 this morning and I've done nothing. I've had breakfast, but the hair's not done.
I almost want to
gym-
say good for you. It's
Yeah.
Right? It's
I mean, I am all up.
yes.
So anyway, but
Kimber
last night
loves that.
I do. I love it.
and it's hot. It's already 86.
Yeah.
So I've got the fan on, no air conditioning. Anyway, last night I read, instead of being behind, which I have been chasing my tail a couple of
Yeah.
weeks, I read chapter 6 and went
Oh, so
all
you're
the way.
ahead.
And I wish that, is her name Karen?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
was still here, because I had a lot of skip over that, just and it was just verbiage, it wasn't thoughts. But I do find her a little dense in some of her terminology sometimes, just the God
For
talk. And
Julia Cameron.
her,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yes, her Julia Cameron. So I could really
Not, I just wanted to
identify with-
distinguish you weren't talking about Karen. I was like,
no,
what?
no, Julia.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I was reading, just number one, it made me, because jumping around, I've been not vacillating because I don't want to, but the Mexico retreat,
Oh,
I
yes,
just really
Teotihuacan.
want to go. And I've been thinking, how can I do that? Should I do that? Where do I pull the money from? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And as I was reading her, it was like, F it. I can do it, and I am going to do it, and I'm just going to go take care of it like tomorrow. I mean, I've got it, yeah, but it
And you
just,
could pay it in installments, right? Like you don't need to pay, it's 1997. I mean, and that's a pretty amazing, plus flights. Like, so there's, so
and
it's
I'm
more like
one,
2,500 or
It's
whatever.
an
But
amazing. That's an amazing price. That's a
yeah,
very
it
good
really
price.
is.
yeah, well, I'm just,
Because Mexico is fairly reasonable to do all these experiences and stuff. And
well, I am married to the one who will buy store brand Winco whatever's instead of the brand that we know is so much better. And it's just such
Yeah.
a
penny
pincher.
pitching. Yeah.
And it just, that makes me want to throw up. So I just figured I'm just going for it. Just reading the whole chapter. That's why I just kept reading and reading and ignoring certain phraseologies. But I
Yeah,
felt really
things that
good.
don't resonate. Well, and here's the thing is that if we really believe, which this is partially helping us to understand, that we are created of this divine being and we have access to it all, it's how do we get out of our own way so that we can go for the thing, like, and remove all the blocks. She uses creativity, but to do the things that we want. And even just like resonating and sitting with you, Mom, thinking about like, do I want to go? Do I like, what is it that wants to go? And you just like, I want to go see these pyramids and these ancient civilizations. And I'm curious to have this adventure. So when you have that, then you have that clarity and then you can decide like, how am I going to pay for this? What do I need to do? Like, is it something with your stamping classes where,
Well, there's going to be I haven't gotten into those logistics yet, but that
Okay,
will,
that's fine.
that will work out. Either someone will
You're
take
in
my,
dream phase. Yeah.
I'll move the class, but I just, and I always go back to the thought that I know I'm going to be not provided for by my hunk of man that provides for me, but from myself and the universe, I'm going to be okay. So, it just felt good as I went to sleep last night, and I slept solid. And Bozo here behind me was still last night, and the cat didn't come and crawl over me trying to get my attention. So it was just a nice, peaceful night. And I don't know if I just sent out vibes that, guys, I'm at rest. Don't bother me. Just leave me. Let me
Good.
enjoy.
That's
And I
awesome, Mom.
also during this week with, I don't know if it's from reading that or just sheer effing determination, I got my room down to desktops and tabletops and floor tops. And I've been wanting to do, working on it half-assed for
Wow.
months. And today, I mean, yesterday, I'm there and I just feel like a
Yay.
human being and I can go forth. So things are,
That's a huge, I mean, that was a huge
oh,
undertaking, and you feel like you've done it, like you're like it's done. Like
it's, yeah, it's
ready to
probably,
start.
it's 99.5.
That's amazing.
So yay. And
Congratulations.
Right.
Yeah.
so,
Amazing.
and
Yeah.
yes, I'm very happy and very, pretty much comfortable.
What was your word again?
Uh,
Joy of Joft. The joy of following through.
Oh,
And
God.
you
Cute.
Yes.
Joft.
Soft. Let
So
me
you
write that
just
down
achieved
again.
some joft, I would say.
And it has been a very thing. And plus, we've got this huge deal coming up where a girlfriend is coming from Germany, and I'm trying to prep for that
Yeah.
as well and making her space livable, which it is. It's 100% livable.
Yay. That's
Um,
so awesome.
Anyway, I can.
And then artist date.
Oh, my artist date. What did I tell you?
You said that line dancing with Kimber was going to be your artist date.
That and
Which
yes, it was. I mean, I would never have done that. I would never have gone out and done it if she hadn't pestered and harassed me. And it was fun. Huh?
Yes, it was fun. Are we going back? Are you going back Thursday? Oh, you
Not
can't
this
go
week.
Thursday.
No, I
That's
can't go
right.
this week. So
That's
first and third Thursdays, I'm always out. But and
oh,
and
good. Yeah.
yeah. But so yes, and I thought that was as strong of an artist date actually as my adventure on that little field trip a couple of weeks
Okay.
ago to the canyon was something that
something totally new.
totally new that I sort of wanted to do. The field trip, yes, I wanted to do. I knew about that one, but this one, I just thought, just do it. And the only way to just do it is to
Yay.
just do it. So that was my artist date, and I wrote
Okay.
about it
Okay.
too, as my artist date. And even though I was with someone,
Who you knew, who
yeah,
invited you. That's okay. I'm going to not judge your artist date. I'm just so like that made me so happy to get your text, Kimber, like asking for mom's number to ask her. Like I was like, oh, I hope she goes. And then you guys like that's just awesome.
we
That's
did.
awesome.
And so there. So it's been a strange,
Good.
interesting, fulfilling week.
Good.
For
Okay.
all kinds of points of view. So, and
Nice.
taking this silly dog to our neighbor's house where we gather on Friday nights. And the last time I took him, which is probably 2 months ago, I had to keep him on a leash, and he didn't like that because he wanted to play, and his behavior sucked. And so I finally just said, I'm going home, guys, goodbye. And we came home because and I left him in the house. But when we came back, he had clawed at the door to try and get out, like where had his people gone?
Yeah.
And this time he came and he grew up.
Oh, my little
So
boy.
he just ran his little brains out, and it was just nice. It was just such a beautiful relief just to see him having fun and me not being stressed and Russ could care. And
Right. Right.
so,
Good.
but
I'm so glad. I'm so glad because that's one of the things I do think about, like when you offer to take him in on Friday, because Friday night, I think that's so cool. That's part of why you moved to the area that you moved to. So you have these social evenings. And so I'm glad that Jasper didn't impede that this time. And
nope,
good,
he
good.
was,
Sounds like you've had a good, like a different sort of week, doing some things outside of your box, but also accomplishing things and, having a little joyful fun with that little guy. I think
yep.
that's great. Awesome.
So
Anything
have to
else
go
that
to,
came up for you that we can come back to like in the discussion part?
if it does, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, nothing that I've written down or can think of offhand. I just, I feel very,
Yeah.
pretty much very comfortable. There's
Yeah.
some downloading I could do here or there, but it's not
Good. Okay.
worth
Yeah.
it right now.
All right, Miss Kimba. What would you like to
Well,
share?
I'm going to jump on there. I will use that as my artist date too. Line dancing. We dipped our toes in. It was hard and fun, and I'm going to go back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my artist date as being in my yard too, because I
Yeah.
made this nice little meditation area that I'm anxious to share with everybody.
Yay.
And going out there and actually getting on the ground and doing my yoga and
Getting
my
on the ground
all my
too.
stretches, and I was on the ground outside.
Yes.
So,
Go
and
knees
it
go.
was, yeah, it's a very peaceful area. I didn't think of taping it, but I will do that. So you
Oh,
guys
that's
get to see it, and then you'll see it firsthand too. It's just sweet.
really great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I'm really feel good about that. I'm a mess. I'm a mess this week. Fitful
Okay.
sleeping and bringing up all that, little Kimber stuff.
Oh,
Little
okay.
Kimber went through a lot growing up,
Hmm.
and it does keep me, to myself and from reaching out. So I'm really going through that,
Okay.
and trying to be okay with it and writing about it, and sabotaging myself all week
Oh,
with my room and my space was getting uncluttered and organized, and now I just started piling stuff back on in there. Yeah, so I'm a mess
okay. I mean,
and still processing.
she does
Yeah.
talk about specifically one of the tasks. My payoff for staying blocked is, and it's something that you may want to just explore in that. Like, I think it's
Hmm.
incredibly brave of you to even acknowledge that one, I'm a mess. Little Kimber had a hard upbringing, and this stuff is coming up. And then you're seeing the physical manifestation of that with the blocking. Like everything that you were clearing out, like you might be putting stuff back to cover that. So you have an
Yeah.
awareness that is giving you an advantage this time.
Mm.
That I see.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then I've written it out, and I've dealt with it before, a couple times where you just get down and dirty and realize and feel it, and then you forgive people and you think you're good, and then but
Yes.
no.
Yeah. It's well,
Not
which is
good.
why, how much I love the moon and why I love the moon, because it's like, yes, but it's not just the one phase and then it's like, and now I'm good. I'm gonna be stable. It's like
Yeah,
again and again
Work.
and
coming
again
back
and
around.
again.
Yeah.
It's like I thought I
Hmm.
released this. I forgot. I thought I forgave that. thought I surrendered this. I thought I let this go. And it just comes in time because, it didn't, whatever we
Mhm.
brought on, we didn't bring it on like that. It was over time. So the releasing also has to come over time. So, yeah, yeah,
The triggers will get
Yeah.
less and less and less and less.
yeah. And the response time, like the reactivity time or all of that gets smaller. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Okay. Is this mostly coming
Oh,
up
good.
through?
Yeah. See, I'm in the middle of it.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Mm. Is it
Yeah. What
mostly
was that
coming up?
question going to be?
Is it mostly coming up when you're writing in the morning pages? Or is it like things that
Um,
occur throughout the day, how you're feeling and checking in with your emotional body and how you're feeling?
yeah, I'm in it. I'm in it all day long, all night long.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, I'm really working with it, looking at it.
Do you
Um,
feel,
not, not happy about it.
what's that? Not,
Not happy about it. And then the fitful sleeping, it's like waking up every hour. And then it kind of so counterproductive to
yeah.
being logical and being, yeah.
Because then the next morning yeah,
So
you're
yeah,
not well
I'm in it.
rested. Yeah. Yeah. What do you do when you wake up in the middle of the night? Multiple times. Like, how do you get
I
up ever and like pour yourself a cup of tea and either read or write, or do you like fight with your
I've
thoughts?
had to, yeah, because I'm not a good sleeper anyway. So I will get up, go to the bathroom, drink water,
Okay.
and try to go back to sleep until I go back to sleep.
Okay.
This week, the going back to sleep part is really, really hard.
Hmm.
Okay.
So so my mind, and I'm pretty good at the monkey mind, calming it,
Mhm.
and setting it aside. This week, not going to be calm.
Yeah.
It says nope.
Okay. Okay.
So I do end up getting, um, yeah. And then I'm trying not to watch so much TV, so I don't turn on the TV. So
Yeah.
I'll read or write, and then stir myself up more because there's just things I need to say to people,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a shit show, and I'm putting it off.
Okay.
So
Okay.
What about some music in the background, something happy-go-lucky?
Mm.
music is a good idea. The meditation garden, I've been going there a lot.
That's
The
great.
new meditation garden, and it's just instant peace. And then just gosh, I just need to get back to that loving my loving self, that peace and loving self that is you know
And
my
you're
truest self,
yeah.
and work from there, and
Yeah.
just and use the 4 agreements. I mean, I'm working up this strength
Yeah.
to start this shit show. And if I just do it with love and kindness and
Yeah.
let them react however they're going to react,
Yes.
and love them through it, it's, I can do this. It's
Right.
just, I'm just putting it off.
And when you speak whatever, and that's where the morning pages again can be helpful, is to kind of draft up, well, what is it I want to say, and reread it. Like, is that going back to the 4 agreements, right? Is that impeccable with the word, meaning like, did I remove sarcasm? Did I remove like all the things? Am I really clear about like, what is it that I want to say? And then you're absolutely right. Like, that is what you can do. And you're doing it for
Yeah.
you, for your own forgiveness, your own surrender, your own release. And then like the courage is in releasing that and allowing like the assumptions that we make may or may not come true, but not
Right.
allowing the
I'm assuming the shit show.
mm-hmm.
That doesn't do any good, right? That doesn't do any good.
Mm-hmm. And you're assuming
Just
that based
loving,
on
kind,
previous experiences.
past.
It's
Yeah, previous experience.
But
Yeah.
you were
But I've
different in the
had that chip
previous.
on my shoulder too. Yeah, it's true. I've had that chip on my shoulder and working from defense, which puts, them on defense,
mm-hmm.
which, you don't get anything accomplished.
Well, she
So
talks
it's
a lot of
a loving kindness.
a lot about the virtue trap in this week 5, which is kind of very
Uh-huh.
much that like I just wrote down people pleasing next to the title, The Virtue Trap. And, you know, yeah, afraid to appear selfish,
I
we lose ourselves. It's like,
Yeah.
afraid, because I think that we are taught like not to be selfish, not to be selfish. Like, it's not okay to be selfish. And when we're not a little bit selfish over like our needs and expressing them, we lose ourselves. And that's like, whoa. that's the virtue trap. I see you nodding, Mayor, like, mm-hmm.
Right. And I resonated with that. I resonated with the virtue trap as being my own righteousness. I come off, and these, my family says, well, who are you doing you're always doing the right thing, and you're always, self-righteous, which,
Mm.
gosh, man, that might be true.
It is
I'm
not
looking at
true.
that,
You're
you
also,
know.
you're a queen energy.
Well,
And I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow on the Magi Call. A queen energy, like the Queen of Diamonds, is a philanthropic, like the philanthropist, but also like the values and there's, I mean, there is a nobility that comes with that that could come off, can be perceived by others, especially if they're not secure in their own sense as like, okay, queen, like who are you, right? And so
yeah,
that's I'm excited to have that discussion tomorrow, but like there's a part of it where
me
almost
too.
we're taught, like if you are born a queen, which you are, we are taught like as women to like deny that, Matt. Like you are born with a sense of mastery inside of you that comes through service. And
Mhm.
so part of that, whatever you could say about me, it's like owning like your greatness and to the point of afraid to appear selfish, we lose ourselves. Like we have to say yes to ourselves. And the Queen of Diamonds, with her strong sense of values, I mean, I guess there is, the other side of that is like really being able to get yourself into the shoes of another person, which is more challenging for jacks, queens, and kings, just by nature. But having the awareness that exists within you. But there's there's the balance, and that's what Teotihuacan is going to be all about. It's that equilibrium of like, okay, how do I have like this queen energy, this power, this mastery, the very clear ideas of what I see as right and wrong, and then how do I like listen to my subjects, which is like your
Mhm.
family. And it obviously, let's not like walk around and call them your subjects, but bringing that balance
Right.
together.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting they can throw that in my face? You always do
Yeah.
the right thing. You're
Yes.
always there. You're always, and then
Yeah, I know.
make me
Like,
feel bad about it. What the
I'm
hell
like,
is
yeah.
that?
It's them. It's them. It's you shining a light on their defects. They don't want to look at it. It's like
Yeah.
being around the alcoholic when you
Mm.
stop drinking, or the food addict when you eat healthy. And I
Yep.
get pissed if you eat healthy.
Yeah.
Hello, that's nuts.
Yeah, and that's what, and she'll talk about that like early on in the artist's way, is that when we start living our dreams and playing with creativity, a lot of people are like, who are you? And they're going to push you away. That is a perfect analogy, that alcoholic idea, or
Uh-huh.
any form of addiction, because when we see other people being virtuous, doing the right
Mhm.
thing, being there, showing up, being healthy in all their decisions, is that reflection is that I can do that as well. But
Yeah.
it's easier to numb. It's
I've
easier
It
been
is.
quoting so much of this book
to
on my vacation
have you?
that it's pissing my sister off. And she keeps saying, "Oh, I have that book." And I went, "But you're not working it." Well,
Oh,
I've read that chapter. Well, you didn't really read it because you're
yes.
just skimming it. And I
Well,
finally said, I'm not trying to be judgy, but she's the sister that I'm going to call out because
mm,
this
yeah.
is her. This what we're all doing is very her. She's allowing it to
Yeah.
be snuffed out by a male. And this is on YouTube, so I should be quiet.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. But we've all been there. Like, and I will say that, like, I mean, and it's easy to see that in others, but I also see it like how how much of my power did I give away over the course of time, until like it was so hard, or like the events led to like, okay, and now you have nothing. Now you get to start fresh over and do that without that. But when I was in it, I didn't know I was in it. It's like the frog in the pot of boiling water. The frog is like, the water's fine. And then that temperature slowly increases. And before you know it, you're, you know,
Gone.
croaked.
Croaked. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And it is also as we are making progress and we are growing and changing for our better and really working through our stuff, it is also equally challenging to be in the presence of others who aren't. And then we'll amplify that by people who maybe have the knowledge, but it's really head to heart. And that's part of why like I'm staying here this extra day. It's like I've had all these great experiences with my girlfriend who is a double queen, queen of diamonds,
Woo.
queen of spades. So uh
Oh,
yes. And so we've had all of this, but
I
now
get it.
I just want to pull it down and process and write rather than get on the road. I want to take this day to integrate it because I think so much of us we can live in our heads, and it sounds like perhaps your sister is coming from that place, Mare, where she might intellectually, and I've met many, many people, and I'm very drawn to them that have these intellectual conversations about good stuff like this. And then over time you're like, wait, but you're just keeping it up here. You're not integrating it. And so that's going to perhaps continue to come up for you on these travels is seeing it in your sister. Yes,
she's a
mama.
Reiki master. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
My question is she older or younger? Who's the oldest?
She's the oldest sister. Mhm.
Okay.
And she got me into the whole metaphysical
Okay.
thing years and years and years and years ago.
So it's
Okay.
So
possible that she's dismissing you, right? Like, oh, like, yeah, dismissing you because she's been in this world. So like, I know this, I know this, I know this.
yeah, well, she said, "Isn't it funny how you were so judgy in the beginning?" I said, "Well, no, you just would say God's going to take care of everything, and you wouldn't do anything. You have to do the footwork." And it's
Yeah.
when I got into a 12-step program, I learned you can say all the stuff you want, but if you're just going to sit on your butt, no, you're
Yeah.
not going to have results. You still have to do the work,
You
and
have to, right.
it's doing
Right.
the work. Yeah.
Right. Right. It's getting clear, like having the intention, getting clear, knowing what it is that you want. But yeah, you don't just sit here like I would like to create. I mean, I love that chapter 6 is recovering a sense of abundance. I'm like, I would love
Hmm.
for it just to start falling from the sky, but that's not like we know that that's not how it happens.
And she said it was the magic wand chapter.
Yes.
It was good.
Yeah, we have to also do the work. Like understand that the universe has a big role in it, and so do we, because we are stewards of this planet and we are living on this green earth. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay. Good stuff. There's so many good things in here. Um, I'm just flipping through. I like the list of forbidden joys. Writing a list of forbidden joys. And I'll just read this out, see if it chars page 101. List 10 things you love and would love to do, but are not quote unquote allowed to do. One, I love that one is go dancing, and I love that Mom and Kimber just went line dancing this week. Like go dancing, carry a sketchbook. 3 is roller skate. 4, buy new cowboy boots. 5, streak your hair blonde. 6, go on vacation. 7, take flying lessons. 8, move to a bigger place. 9, direct a play. 10, take life drawing class. So just writing down your list of forbidden joys, she says, breaks down the barriers to maybe doing them. I'm posting your list. Did anybody play with that one of forbidden joys?
Yep.
Have any fun things that anybody?
Well, I circled the go on vacation, but done that.
Yeah.
Now I'm here. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
The Take Life, Take Life drawing classes. I like that idea because I'm an artist, but I can't draw, for
Mm.
really, it's mostly abstract. But my whole list was like, go to Scotland, get published, get on do my own podcast that I've been dying to do, own my cow, get a motorcycle, that kind of stuff, get my Airstream, little like not
Get your
so
ears
much.
like everything that you just said sounds so amazing.
Call me.
And my cow,
Call me.
my cow has to fit in my Airstream.
Oh, your cow. Yes, have your little cow, Betsy.
Yeah, and even though my husband's, close, I said get more lovers, but it's okay. He knows me.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I love that. It's so I didn't do this because I'm wondering why. Hearing yours was so fun to hear, and it excites me for thinking about like those are some of the things that I have on my list, like getting published. And I was just talking about I met a woman at the pool. Her and her husband are from BC, um, Canada, and they're biking like like not vroom, vroom, but they're like bicycling,
Bully, bully.
and they're here at the pool. And I was just like, I love the freedom, because they're coming out of their kids have grown and left, and they're just discovering small towns and enjoying their life and doing this thing together. I'm like, that sounds amazing. And I don't want to do that. But I do want to, I do have like this idea of like a little like an Airstream or a little like I see the turquoise and white, just something that I can pull behind my Subaru. Like if I had that, there's this beautiful camping ground that I discovered. It's called Jackson Wellspring here, and it's connected to the Goddess Temple, which was my artist date that I had. And I could have camped there, it's like $25 to camp, and instead I'm not doing that. I'm staying here an extra night, but having that list, like just to see your list of forbidden joys um is really helpful in remembering almost like what are the things that you hold dear and that you want to do. Um
Hmm.
Anybody else have a list that something came up for buying a drum set, bicycling through that? Yeah, what are these? There's all kinds.
Yeah, I was intrigued by the like writing,
Mm.
publish a poem, start that behavior.
Yeah.
And then it even gave a site you could go to. I haven't looked up that site yet, but it'd be easy to just do a short story or a poem,
Yeah.
submit it, and see where it goes. And then the travel dates. I'm uh, writing down my travel dates. I got something for September. I have California in August. And then November, I think, is Costa Rica.
Oh,
So I'm planning those trips.
that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
they're yeah, because that's what I do. That's my joy is to travel. So I'm putting those in place, getting those in order. Yeah, and then language. I need to take a language class and
Yeah.
use the gray matter. The line
Yeah,
dancing was a lot of
right.
gray matter
Well,
connecting to the body, right?
yeah.
So
Duolingo
yeah.
is a free, have you heard of that as a free app for language acquisition? Duolingo.
Duo?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay.
Duo,
Okay.
um, just Duolingo. Uh, I used to do that. It gamifies learning a language, but it also teaches it in a fun way. So it's fun for me to do like when I'm getting ready, like again for this Mexico trip, just
Right.
practicing a little bit more. It's like, okay, my Spanish is like I can, what did Brian and I call it? We called it ugly Spanish. I have great ugly Spanish. Like I can
Right.
communicate, but it's kind of a fun way to learn. And it's like the idea is like 15 minutes a day and they gamify it for you. Um, yeah. So Perhaps check that
Oh,
out.
nice.
They have tons of languages on it, and it's
Thank
free.
you.
Yeah. We just have a couple minutes, and it looks like the gardener is getting ready to do some work out here.
Ah.
Um,
Okay, so it's chapter 6.
so we're going to be reading chapter 6. Some of us have already read on and are ahead of the game. But this is a big one. I would venture to say for most people, it's recovering a sense of abundance. So we're going to be looking at money blocks, and a lot of the work of the creative play is like, and I had to do this on my own in that hammock last night, is just sit there as I was deciding. It's like, oh, do I have the money to do an extra night? And like, you do all of these weird things where it's like, if I was like, okay, to make the decision, take money, like money's not an option, like or that's not a barrier at all. Remove money, would I stay? And it was an emphatic yes. So with that, this is my playground also for the next day. It's a cute little 50s hotel, and
Love it.
a saltwater pool, and yeah, and we'll see where the day goes. But I wish everybody continued just grace as you process through, and as the harder stuff comes up, Kimber, like I see you, I hear you, I feel what you're going through, and I'm incredibly proud that you're not letting that stop you um from uncovering Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It's very
And then
telling. It's appropriate.
Yep. And then
Thank you. Yeah.
we're coming into this full moon week. So we will be next Saturday, Saturday night at your house also. And that's going to be a really, you all as members of Let Love Rise, we are, it's all, I hope to see you all there in Kimber's backyard to celebrate this full moon. And again, the opportunity to release, to shed some stuff, to let go, and to have gentle movement and music and enjoy your beautiful, I love, if you build it, they will come. And you have been working in that yard and creating this beautiful space. And I'm so grateful to get
And the
to.
synchronicity is that that's after this trip. Love it. Love it. Can't wait.
Yes. Awesome. So wishing everybody a great.
Ugly cry is coming.
Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah, a great week of playful creativity, and wrapping yourself up when you need to, when you hit something, and just acknowledge. And sometimes you can dive in right away, and sometimes you just put it on the shelf and be like, I see you. I'll come work through this in a minute. Not right now. So yeah, and just keep going. It's a joy to start my week with you ladies.
I know. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You as well.
All right. I'm going to stop
Well,
the
see
recording.
you